Start with the death the whole season has been circling. The episode opens on Criston Cole leading the last of his men through a fog-choked wood, straight into a Tully camp full of corpses. It is a trap. A body he nudges with his boot jolts up, and the butcher's ball begins. Criston fights like a man possessed, and then the mist clears and there are hundreds of rivermen and a whole northern host standing behind him. Oscar Tully offers him no duel and no mercy, only a promise to build a sept of traitors' bones. Criston plants his sword, draws Alicent's favor from his sleeve, ties the embroidered cloth around the hilt, and asks for single combat. He never gets it. An archer on the hill puts an arrow in his belly, then his cheek, and the realm's greatest knight dies on his knees in the dirt. What happens is a slaughter. What it means is a thesis. This war has stopped taking prisoners. Cut to King's Landing, where the throne Rhaenyra fought for is being bled from the inside. A quarter of the city watch lies murdered. Gold cloaks are resigning their posts, and someone has daubed a warning for the queen. Ormund Hightower has not marched a single soldier to the gates, and he is still winning, because he has turned her own capital into evidence that she cannot govern it. The council pushes her toward the obvious answer. Fly a dragon to Tumbleton and burn the villains out. And there is the trap, spoken aloud. Burn Tumbleton and she murders her own subjects to reach one man, which is exactly the story Ormund once told. The recap is a queen holding petitions she cannot answer. The meaning is that a crown which creates more enemies than it commands is not power. It is a slow siege with no walls. Now the green side, and its patience is the scariest weapon on the board. In Tumbleton, Ormund lays out a doctrine to a puppet he is building. They will not chase the war, they will let it come to them, turning King's Landing against Rhaenyra little by little, bite by bite, until the great houses have no choice but to defect. Daeron is styled the new king, but he understands the arithmetic better than his commander. He is being pushed forward to be hollowed out from within, a crown worn until there is nothing left underneath it. One reading is that Ormund is the smartest strategist in the story. Another, quieter one, is that he mistakes cruelty for control, and a boy who already sees the game may not stay apiece for long. Why might that matter? Because the Green's greatest strength this hour is that no one on the black side can burn a plan. The dragonseeds get the most honest scene in the episode, and it is not about fire. Hugh and Ulf sit on a hill above Tumbleton with two of the largest dragons in the world, and they talk about missing market day. Neither man's life has improved. Hugh slips into the enemy town in a dead farmer's clothes to find his wife, and she does not fall into his arms. Her brother is dead. She was left alone on a road no woman should walk alone, and a dragon changes none of it. She will not leave with him. The recap is a reunion that curdles. The meaning is that the weapons Rhaenyra just gained have wives, grievances, and doubts, and a rider who feels he has squandered everything is not an asset. He is a defection waiting for a better offer. At Harrenhal, the war's most dangerous prince is being quietly rebuilt into something else. Aemond is wounded, dragonless, and hunted, and Alys Rivers keeps him exactly where she wants him. She tells him Vhagar may have flown off to protect him, that without his dragon, he is hidden. And when a stable boy recognizes him, she kills the boy with a needle and never breaks stride. Then she opens a chest of 5 ancient dragon eggs and offers him a different life entirely. Not a war to win, but a dynasty to found. Her, the Lady of the Water, him, the Dragon Lord, a new kingdom rising from the ruin. The recap is a seduction over cold eggs. The meaning is that Aemond's ambition is being redirected from the throne to Harrenhal, and one interpretation is that the show is building a third power that answers to neither queen nor council. The counterweight to all that ambition is a broken king in the mud. Aegon, Tyland Lannister, and Larys are fugitives now, burying a dead companion in a shallow grave and arguing about where a deposed king runs to next. Tyland has booked passage to Braavos. Larys argues for Casterly Rock and a court in exile. And Aegon, half a man and fully aware of it, asks the only question that matters to him. Do you think I am a terrible man? Nobody gives him a straight answer, so he settles it himself. They sail for Essos. The recap is 3 men over a grave. The meaning is that the Greens have already lost the king they went to war to keep, and the movement rolling toward King's Landing is being fought in the name of someone who has quietly decided to leave the board. Here is the turn the season has been promising, and it is the quietest scene in the hour. Alicent goes to Rhaenyra and offers the one thing she has left to sell, Aemond. She knows where he is because Helaena dreams true things now, and she will trade her own son's location for a guarantee that she and Helaena walk free. Rhaenyra understands instantly what the offer costs. Sending swords would only scatter him, but sending one blade with someone Aemond trusts would not. The someone is Alicent. The recap is a mother informing on her child. The meaning is that the war's decisive move is not a dragon or a battle. It is a betrayal delivered in a mother's voice. Why might this matter? Because once Alicent rides out to hand over Aemond, there is no version of her left that the Greens or the Blacks can trust, and she may know it. The fallout lands in a single bloody room. Assassins arrive at Tumbleton dressed as a Baratheon envoy come to bend the knee, and for a moment the Greens believe a great house has turned. Then Gwaine Hightower spots the mud and the lie and opens the false lord's throat across the dinner table, and Ormund, saved, vomits over his food and swears he will cleave the queen from crown to cunt. Back in King's Landing, the answer to Rhaenyra's own gambit arrives as a bloodied surcoat and a taunt. The recap is a play within a play, an assassination that fails by inches. The meaning is that both sides are now fighting with knives in the dark rather than dragons in the sky, and every failed strike, as Daeron warned, only drives more of the realm to choose a side. Put it together, and the title stops being about one battle. The Butcher's Ball is the whole hour, a war that has run out of clean deaths and started making butchers of everyone in it. Criston dies for a favor and a promise no one keeps. Rhaenyra defends a throne that is eating her from the inside. Aemond is remade into someone new, while his mother sells him for a way out. Only Corlys ends the night standing, staring into a campfire after cutting through his enemies like a shark, the last man in the story who still knows exactly what he is fighting for. Everyone else is bending, breaking, or being turned. So the episode leaves us with the two betrayers already in motion. A mother riding toward her son with a queen's blade at her back, and the question of which snapped loyalty the next hour cannot take back. Which snapped loyalty is the one the next episode cannot take back, now that a mother is riding toward her own son with a queen's blade at her back?